You know I'm a hustler, hustler. You know I'm a hustler, hustler.
Hey, it's your boy Lord back again with another episode of Get Biz, Do Biz, Get Paid. Today I have Daniel Nunez.
Nunez, yes, sir.
Uh, he's the owner of Escala Construction based out in Phoenix, Arizona. He's specified in concrete and footing foundation. Uh, Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you very much for bringing me on. Yeah, we're a concrete hardscape company, so we also do pavers and turf and all kinds of decorative concrete work and foundation work.
Yeah, so what got you into construction, man? Can you tell me a little bit about what you got going on?
Yeah, actually, so this is back when I got out of high school. I had just turned 18, just graduated high school, and I got a job working at a car dealership. So I used to work for Mitsubishi. We were selling cars back then. I didn't like it very much, and my uncle offered me a job. So I said yes. I left the dealership and I moved into construction. And on my first day, they made me dig a footing. It was like
Mm,
60 feet long, 2 feet deep. And I had to dig by pick and shovel. So I
mm.
didn't like construction either. And I had told my uncle I was gonna quit. I told him, hey, I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in and then I'm done. Like I don't want to work construction ever again. And to this day, my 2 weeks still aren't up. I just stayed ever since. Yeah.
Oh, so you dig a footing and you say you didn't want to do that anymore. Now you still digging footings.
Now I'm still digging
Uh,
footings. Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
tell me how, like what make you decided to be like, you know what, maybe I don't want to dig to physically do the work, but still like that some aspect of construction. Tell me, how did you scale out of the labor role?
So I currently still am part of the labor role. As of recently, I think I haven't touched a tool in 45 days. So I just got out of the role. And it's been 11 years into my career. I just got out of the physical role. Yeah. It's been a long time.
So how long have you been in business, man?
I've been in business for 4 years.
4 years,
This
four
is
years,
my fourth year. Yeah, it's going into my fourth year.
4 years. So what are some of your your struggle that you have right now, going into 2024, or some opportunity that you see going into 2024?
So struggles, I would say that we're currently looking for more subcontractors because after I talked to you on Facebook, we decided to go sub model.
Uh-huh.
So I have been able to sell lots of work, but now we're getting backlogged because I don't have enough good subs to produce the work. So we're running into a production issue right now. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones. I ended up keeping 3 employees, so I have one in-house crew, and we just got another truck for them around to move around in. And yeah, that it's kind of difficult trying to force myself to switch into that sub model.
Yeah, so what I found when we switch to the sub model is, instead of doing the work, you have to manage and inspect the work, which is sometimes is, people think that you just hire a sub and everything will be fine and dandy. Everything will be, rainbow and shiny, but
Yeah,
you still have to manage the people, because people is going to do what it is that in their best interest,
that's
right?
correct.
Right. So if you have hourly guy and you don't incentivize them to finish on the money, on the budget, on the quality, then they're gonna, you know, dig into overtime. They're gonna drag the job out, right? So if you don't manage them closely, the way they get paid is per job. So their intrinsic value is to finish the job fast. But if you don't inspect them and get them to, follow your quality, then the quality will suffer and you can't collect. So like there's a dichotomy of both worlds right there. So performance based, either way, I'm not saying stuff is easy. I'm not saying employees easy. Different business have a different model, but what we did is we turned our in-house into project manager to manage the sub, right?
That is currently what I'm thinking about doing as well.
Yeah. So what are some of your greatest moment of achievement since joining construction?
Well, to be honest, just being here is one of the greatest achievements. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I used to be a methamphetamine addict. So I used to be
Okay.
on
Oh
crack
wow.
for about 3 years. And I was borderline homeless, and I ended up, messing up my relationship with my daughter in my previous relationship. And yeah, so my personal life suffered a lot. So just being here right now in this moment, this is probably one of my greatest achievements, to be honest. Now, if you're asking about the business, then probably the greatest achievement is just again to be where we are right now, because we started with nothing. I started out of my brother's car. I didn't even have a car.
Yeah. So that was back when you say 4 years ago. That's back
That's
to
2020.
2020. Yeah, I that's when I started my business too. When at the tail end of COVID, 2020, I got laid off from my corporate job. But anyway, talk to me about how how hard is it for you? I'm sure it's a struggle to get out of that environment that you in, right? The addiction, the endless cycle of looking for the next hit. It's the subject that not many people are brave enough to talk about, and so I commend you for speaking up about it. We have a lot of family member that suffer with substance abuse, so maybe you can shed some light on that for us.
Yeah, so back in 2019, towards the end of July, it was June, July. Yeah, I ended up moving to Georgia for 7 months, and I stayed in one of my uncle's basements. So he locked me up in the basement for a week straight, and that's kind of how I got over the withdrawals for a little bit. But then after that, it was just fighting the temptation and fighting with my mind to constantly say, hey, you know what? I don't want to be that person anymore. The reason I moved to Georgia is a story I can't tell you because I don't feel comfortable telling it.
You
But
fine, bro.
yeah, so I spent 7 months with my uncle in Georgia, and he's the one that kind of guided me out and showed me a different way of life. And because you are your environment, so wherever you are, that's where you're limited in your growth. So all I see was drug addicts and people dealing and doing stupid things. It's just that's what you see, that's what you think is normal. So when you change your environment, you start to do better, you start to get better, and you see other ways of thinking.
So you say something that really interesting. You are your environment. So by what you're saying is you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you by just moving away and change your environment and
That's
changing
correct.
changing who you associate as yourself with. Am I hearing that correctly, or am I off the mark? Is that kind of that shock to the environment is kind of what kickstart uh, your your journey to be better for another day? Just one more day,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it does come down to the environment. I don't know if I'm pretty sure everybody's heard the cliches. You are who you hang around with, or you are the average of the five people you hang around with the most. Um, so back then I didn't hang around with good people. I wasn't doing good things, and I switched my environment. I got around my uncle. My uncle owns a cabinet company in Atlanta, in Georgia. So I got to see a different side of life, a different way to make money, a different way to do things. And then just staying around that family and watching that family unit because they're so solid together over there. My uncle's family, I commend them for allowing me in their home and letting me see the way they live their life. It inspired me to want to do the same thing. I remember this moment we were standing outside of his garage and we were looking outside, and he has a nice Tundra out in his driveway, and his wife drives a nice van, and they have a big house. So he looks at me and says, Danny, you like what you see right here? That could be you one day.
Mm,
You just got to change who you're around.
mm. So, so your uncle have a so he's in construction too as well, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so that's so you mentioned something that family is your family had that kind of influence on you, and seeing other people that quote unquote close to you, quote unquote the same blood at you, same race, that they can achieve that success. And then that kind of give you maybe a little bit motivation to move away from your past, move away from all the stuff that you've been suffering with, right? Is that kind of how you felt at the time?
Yeah, I think that it shows you, like I said, it's a different way of living life. So I think that the biggest part of people suffering right now, or because I can see it in the people around me, there's still people around me that refuse to change, they refuse to get better, as much as I'm trying to show them the way, right? And I think it's just getting around people that think different. Like I want to get around people that say, if the ship is sinking, we're gonna have fun with this sinking ship. I don't want people to say, "Oh no, we're gonna die right now because the ship has sunk." No, I want positive people around me. I don't want any negative people around me at all. I don't want even the little thought because it sticks to you. That negativity sticks to you, and then it just draws everything around your life. So I believe in maintaining positive people around you, maintaining positive conversations, and this is things that my uncle taught me. So is I'm regurgitating words that I was taught that helped me get out of my situation.
Man, you got a good story, man, because not a lot of people that can say that, hey, I was addicted to crack, methamphetamine, crack, whatever it is, and I see the environment around me is a vicious cycle, right? In and out jail, in and out addiction, in and out this, and the key thing is they never change their environment.
No, exactly.
They always going back to the same environment that they couldn't escape from in the
Because it's so
beginning.
easy.
Yeah. And then it's a shame, but I'm kudos to you, man. Such a hard thing to overcome, and believe it or not, there's more people out there suffering than because people, their ego and their uh sometimes they're not comfortable talking about their problem yet. So for you to come on here, speak about your problem, speak about what you had gone through, that takes guts and that takes courage. And I think that's so important to carry that courage into your personal life, into your business life. And to me, uh, I think personal life come first, and then the business will follow. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, that's correct. So as you know, I joined WinRate, and WinRate helped me kind of guide my mindset the right way because I had already left the drugs behind. I had already got around different circles, but you guys showed me a different way to live again. So it's experiencing, getting that exposure to a whole different set of people and ideologies, and that's what makes you pursue growth. And I chose when I joined the group, I'm going to fix my mindset. I'm going to get better because there is no way I can grow my business if I don't get better first. There's no
Right.
way. It's impossible. I saw it right from the beginning. So I decided to fix myself, which is what I've currently been doing. I think I've rewired my brain successfully to where now I can self-talk myself into doing whatever I believe is what I want to do. Right. I can talk to myself and say, I can do this. I'm going to do this. This is how it's going to happen. And it's a 100% guaranteed outcome. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to happen.
So one of the trick that I use is, and this is why I like to go to a conference at least one or twice a year. One of the trick that I use is I would go to conferences that have people that do 10 times, sometimes 20 times as much as I do right now, personally, professionally, financially, in all the aspect of life, right? And then I would have a conversation with them, and you know what I find out is everybody else is just the same as me. They have
Yeah.
two hands, they have 10
Yeah.
fingers, and they are quote unquote sometimes they're not that much smarter than me. They're not that much bigger than me. But the mindset is if they can do it, I can.
I can do it. Yeah.
You know, they just have a head start. So that's what I tell myself. And I don't discredit anybody that had achievement or anything, but in the sense of like hypnotizing myself to take action per se, so that's what I do when I go to conferences is rubbing elbow with people, rubbing elbow with the the people that because you see people online, they put up this big facade, they put up this big image, they put up this because it's personal brand, they only reveal what they want you to perceive of them. So when you go see these people in real life, they still struggle the same shit you struggle
Yeah.
with, man. They still overeat. They still miss the gym. They still working on the schedule. They still working on priorities. So just different level. They have different priorities, and keeping those people in your circle, and keeping the people that you're trying to pull up. I think there's a dichotomy of like, hey, here's above and here's below. If I can pull this pe people up and then pull us all up here, then that's a good spot to be in, man. Good spot to be in.
I would say, because there's another side to that, right? If you got somebody right here and you got another person up here, what if this person just doesn't want to change and they're just holding you down? I think you have to know and rationalize when is the right time to just say, all right, you know what? I'm done. You know? But
Yeah.
I think that humanizing your idols is probably one of the biggest things that happened for me too when I got around other people that were successful per se, because you can see it sometimes when they're fronting on social media because the only thing you see are the good things, right? So once you humanize your idols, I think that everything you want to achieve becomes more attainable. Like you start realizing, oh, okay, you know what? Everybody's normal, everybody's got problems, everybody's dealing with stuff, everybody's trying, you know, people falter on their disciplines, which is one of my big things. Is that I see that a lot of high level people still mess up with their daily disciplines. So my goal for this year was to not mess up ever, ever.
Mm,
So I
mm,
don't miss the gym. I don't miss. I don't overeat. I don't do any of that. That's why I'm able to start looking the way I'm looking. By the end of the year, I'm gonna look like a whole different person. So that's where one of my biggest goals this year is to not falter ever and stick to my line and stick to my standards.
mm. Right, man. Yeah, talking about cutting people off, the way I define that is it's not necessarily to cut them off per se, but like don't let your energy be taken of those people to be taken from you. And the best way you can do is, which you already doing, man, is to be the example, right? To show them what could be possible, uh, what is possible on the other side of discipline and goal setting and the daily action and all that stuff that you're doing right now. And the people that get the value from what you're putting out, they might never reach out to you. They might never let you know that. But the people that doesn't that doesn't like what you're doing because it's a reflection on why they not where you at, those people are the loudest. So my advice is to just do what you do and people will follow. Is Most of the thing in life is caught, not taught. So the more that we try to coach people or force people to do something, like just like me, if somebody tell me to go do something, I won't do it. But if
Yeah.
they do it, I'll do it. Right. So monkey see, monkey do. We basically monkeys. So if people don't want to follow your lead, then that's their own problem. And it shouldn't be. And even if they throw hate at you, that's tell me more about them than about you. You
Right,
understand?
right. I think that there's two ways to learn a lesson. There's the hard way and then the hardest possible way. So the hard way is somebody can tell you, hey, you know what, the path you're going on is the wrong one. Or you can fuck around and find out yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way I see things. So I've tried to guide myself into learning only the hard way because I tend to fall into that hardest possible category. I like to do things extremely difficult for no reason at all but stubbornness and ego. So sometimes it's just you gotta let go of the ego, be humble, be coachable, learn the lessons, and push in the other direction because you might not be right wherever you're going. And these haters, all they do is they're projecting. They're projecting their insecurities, their lack of discipline, their lost dreams, their lost hope onto you because you were able to do something. I know you've been watching what's happening on TikTok with me right now. There's this one guy that posted, he said, I'm 49 years old, and every time I see one of your videos, I feel like I wasted my life. That is what these people are
Oh,
thinking. Yeah, that one hurt. That was deep.
ooh, God damn.
Yeah, that
But
so
the
take the
thing,
risk. These people, they have to take the risk. They have to live life and not regretting the decisions that they made. You know, my dad says something that's very wise, and I think about it all the time. Any decision that you make today was the right one. Time will tell you if you were wrong, but any decision you make today, you were right, 100%.
yeah, that's let's go off on that a little bit. When you say that the dude's 49, I mean 49 is still early, man. Like
Yeah.
we like just you you won't believe how much you can get done in 6 months if you would just put your head down and fucking get to cracking. You won't believe how much your life would change in a year or two if you just get your head down and start cracking at it. The pain of regret is always going to be bigger than the pain of failure. The pain of regret is always going to be the biggest, bigger than the pain of failure. So, if my mindset is, what is the worst that can happen, right? To us if we try. It mean like shit. We have food stamp here. We have Section 8. I mean, I ain't gonna die. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
starve. So
Yeah.
that's the worst case scenario. That's saying like my business completely tank. I go bankrupt, like 10 people fucking sue me and take all my money. What happened then? I still, to bankruptcy court, I can still keep the house. I can still keep the car. And you know what? I have a repeatable skill that I can still start another business, market and sell. So I'm not worried about keeping what I already make. I'm gonna parlay it into something bigger, 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 bigger. Because the moment that you slow down, the moment that you man, I made it. I'm gonna fuck off for 5 months, just chilling,
Yeah.
But you never know when that could be taken away from you because business is hard, man. Business is hard. Like at much at easy that we make it seem like on social media is not, and you know this. We got fucking shitty ass client. We got motherfucker that bitch all the time. We got employees that feel like they've been mistreated. We got, and since we too buried into the business, our family life suffer, our spiritual life suffer. There's all this thing that goes on that people are rarely talk about the struggle on on social media, on the internet. People always talk about, oh, let me flex this result real quick. Let
Yeah.
me let me flex this real quick. But behind the scene, man, it is fucking gruesome work, bro. Like you think it's easy, like for people that listening, And you think it's easy to get somebody to fucking do what you say, do what they're told? No, it's hard. You have to influence them. There's a level of influences, and believe it or not, I don't care what anybody say. Money is the biggest influencer because people got to eat, people got
Yep.
family to feed. Like we can go culture this, culture that, but goddamn, where's the fucking check? And you can't provide a check for people consistently. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna
Go
wander.
somewhere else.
They're gonna wander and they're gonna lose trust in you. You miss one payroll, your company gonna turn to shit. You miss one job schedule, the sub's gonna walk. Um, you got two one-star review, you might as well throw your business in the trash. And so it's super, super hard and super competitive. I'm not saying don't do it,
Yeah.
but on the other side, the pain of regrets, just like you say, the 49 years old, every time he probably stalking you right now. Uh,
Probably.
seeing what's Daniel and post up there, motherfucker probably gonna work out and take his new truck out, look good on the construction side, and then,
Hey, but this could have been
uh,
you. This could
yeah,
have been you.
yeah, yeah. So talk to me about what's your plan, man? What's your 2 year plan, 2 3 years plan? Well, where are you seeing yourself taking this company?
So for this year, I want to double the revenue I did last year. So last year I hit my first million at a loss because I ended up losing about $60,000. And talking about the struggle, this is what people don't see. I pushed $1 million and I still lost money. So yeah, this year I put in the work from November up until now with no results up until about this week where I sold $400,000 in work. So right off the bat, we're starting off strong. And it's like I'm putting in all this work daily, daily, daily that people don't see. I'm nonstop grinding and hustling. Like you guys they don't get it. How hard it really is to truly maintain something. Getting somewhere is easy. You wanna grow a business, it's easy. Maintain that business at that level for an extended period of time, that is difficult. To get there is not difficult. But yeah, so my goal for this year is to grow the business at least by double. So for $2 million in revenue, so I can keep some money in the bank and build a buffer for the next year. My plan for next year is I hope to get my credit up to a point where I can buy some land and start building my home because I don't know if you know, but I got 5 kids. So my 3 bedroom house is too small for us right now. So I'm trying to build a 7 bedroom home on a 1 or 2 acre lot and go from there. That is my plan for the next 2 years, and it might even be shorter because I'm not stopping. So I might say 2 years. It might happen this year.
Yeah. So I heard something on maybe it was the radio or TikTok or wherever the hell it was that's saying that if you can divorce yourself from the result and just focus on the daily action. So how they put it is there is leading indicator, right? And there's lagging indicator. So what's leading indicator? It's the input that you put in. Is maybe setting up a podcast shop, maybe doing 4 interview on a Saturday, maybe going to the gym every day, maybe go for a run 3 times a week, maybe it's eating less than 2,000 calories a day. Those are what we call leading indicator. It's the action that you put in, right? The lagging indicator is the result, is what you can get off of that, or what you don't get off of the shit that you didn't do, right?
Yeah,
So the lagging indicator is basically result. And what happened is people focus on the lagging indicator, the shit that they really can't possibly
control.
know because it's a future number. It's a
Hmm.
future event. But what they don't do enough is focused on the leading indicator. So basically, taking action, doing what you say you're gonna do, and divorce yourself from the lagging indicator. So that's what I do, right? I don't really give a shit. I set a goal, but I don't really pay attention to it. I just keep going the same
Yeah,
every single day. I just keep selling, I just keep recruiting. And then, oh, voila, at the end of the year, I hit goals. Ooh, look
yeah.
at what people say. How you set goal? No, man, I
I
set
just do.
I set the daily action, leading indicator, and if I don't do enough of the leading action, you know, I I know what to fix like right now. I don't have to look at the result. Even if I meet goal for first quarter, but I know I slack off, I don't let the result tell me that I'm doing good.
Right,
I
right.
let the daily action tell me that I'm doing good. Like I missed the gym yesterday. No, anybody knows? Nobody knows, but I know. So
Yeah,
you gotta make the pact with yourself to focus on those leading indicators, the action, and the result will follow. So that's why all this cliche, fall in love with the process. That's what they mean by, quit looking at the result because the result sometimes, like especially when you're scaling from one to two, sometimes the result doesn't come as fast as you like it to, but the leading indicator, who knows, maybe you go to $4 million this year. Maybe you find like one sub that can recruit other sub that can train all the sub crew for you. So there's this leverage point that I say, you only one person away. Find that right person that can change your business forever or your life forever, right? And it sounds like that you still in search for that person in production, but they're out there, man. They're out there. They're out there, and especially concrete, bro. If you pay people good, and if you have a good reputation, a good boss, you won't believe how many people lie up to work for you. You won't believe how many people lie up to work for you. And at that point, you be like, fuck, I need to go fucking sell more because I got all these motherfuckers I need to feed. So now that's you solve one problem, you know what that does? It creates another problem. And then you
yeah.
have yeah, that's in business, anybody can tell you the problem will all eventually go away. They're fucking bullshit. Yeah.
The problem we have with concrete here in Phoenix now is that it's Hispanic run. So we're mostly Hispanic. Probably 99% of the concrete force out here is Hispanic.
Yeah.
And Hispanic is influenced by cartel. Their mentality is cartel orientated, so very corrupt. So you got a group of finishers, for example. Let's say we got 10 finishers that know how to finish concrete. They get together and they say we want $500 a day, or we won't work, and we only want to come and show up and pour concrete and leave. You have to set the forms. You have to do the base. You have to take the forms and clean up and do everything. We just want to go finish concrete and go home. And then we don't respect the rules on your job sites. We don't care because all 10 are together. So then you go find another group, but they've already found each other. So it's kind of difficult. So I've been weeding out and picking out over time who are the good ones, who are not. And it's been a very difficult game. I think that's why it's taken me so long. And it might be an excuse, but I found one sub. He's great. His team is great. I have my 3 employees that are great, and I've been finding one by one, one by one. I'm just missing that one person, like you said, to kind of manage the whole operation side of things, and
Yeah.
we can push this to a whole nother level. But as of right now, I still currently do everything, and I'm fine with it, doing it until this comes, because there is a factor of luck involved with business, because you never know. Like you said, you might find that one sub that trains all the subs, and then you got all the production, and then you got to go sell more jobs. That is luck. It might be luck, or it might be you worked so hard daily that you ended up finding them. Either or, I'm gonna continue to work daily till I get my luck or I get my result.
Yeah, so it's funny. My partner, he lived right behind me. Like, yeah, I didn't even know construction. Like, that is what I call blessing. And not a lot of people can have that blessing. But him and I, we evolved. Like he didn't know how to do any of this shit either. Run fucking 5, 6 crew. Like we didn't know how to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like once you find that person, that I call it alignment over assignment. So you basically have to bring them up to your standard, your worldview, your point of view, and paint a vision big enough where they can fit in your vision. So that's I think that's one of the skill that is very underrated, is painting a vision, because that's why people work for me, because I paint a vision so big that we're gonna be the biggest that contractor in the United States. And either you come on along, you be a part of the bigger thing, or you can stay out there by yourself. And just we'll be competitive, no problem. Or you can join us, be a part of something bigger, and then that's, man. Uh, I listen
I have a
to.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
How do you, or how did you create that vision in the beginning? Because I know it's very difficult to paint a big picture when you're this little, you know?
So in the beginning, man, it was just passion. It was just like, you know what, this is new to me. I never done construction before. It was just passion and ego, and a little bit of like, fuck the world, I'm gonna do this because everybody wanted me to fail. At first, everybody wanted me to fail. Why did you leave the casino? You make it over 6 figure. Why did you start a deck business when you have no idea how to do anything? And you broke your leg 1 month in. So at that point, a part of me just want to prove the world wrong. And I don't know if that is a wrong or um the wrong or the right approach to it. But at first it was just hate, bro. It was just rage. It was just wanting to prove people that I'm not this person that they think I am. So it's more of like an ego play in the beginning. But then what happened is, when I start proving people wrong, I start seeing I start seeing the potential of how this could change the trajectory of my life. That's when I get coaching. That's when I get help. That's when I get sales training. That's when I start reading books. That's when I start reading like book about vision and planning, because I don't think that far. But now, and then I make a commitment, right? Because vision, you can go this way, that way, this way. And that's like, once you get to $1 or $2 million, that's a lot of shiny thing that we could do, right? So keeping keeping your focus on one thing. So maybe your thing is concrete, my thing is that. Because most people, what they do is they get up here and they start, because it's easy. If you get to 2, 3 million, to go start another thing to get it to 2, 3 million, to go start another thing, get it to 2, 3 million. But it's harder to take that $3 million company to 10 million. So that's why most people stays right there and they go find other thing, and they add another division, this and that. But my is we this is what we want to be. We want to be the biggest that company in the United States, and maybe franchise it later. So that is the commitment that I made, and I did, and it wasn't possible if I didn't reinvest back in myself. That's how I developed the vision. I didn't know how to do any of this shit, bro. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff, but I keep reinvesting. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna change tomorrow. I'm not gonna be the same Lauren. I have to I have to kill myself every day. The version of myself. I have to keep evolving, keep evolving. And then it's hard, it's challenging, doing this podcast, investing all this money in this shit. I don't know where this is gonna go, but I know it's gonna change somebody's life. you
It's
know.
given me the opportunity to share my story for one. I think I'm exactly where you were back then, where I'm now investing into myself. I'm now trying to find the right trainings, the right books to push my business to the next level. I think I'm in the stage of where I'm trying to develop that vision that you say, because I'm just like you, and I think most men are, is that we use anger and depression and sadness and anxiety as fuel. And I think we're supposed to, right? As men, we're
Mhm.
supposed to use that as fuel, because when you channel it into something else, you get addictions, you get vices, you start doing, things that don't benefit you. So for me, a lot of it is fueled by rage. I get very frustrated knowing that, 6 9's got Lamborghinis and Ferraris and I don't, when he's one of the, you get what I'm saying. It frustrates me. So that is my fuel to continue to push and be better and do better. But now I need to, I guess, box it up and put it in I don't even know how to explain it, but I need to create that vision so that I can hit that target exactly where it needs to be hit.
Yeah. So some of the book is that is helpful to me is one is called Vivid Vision, and Vivid Vision is good. Traction is a good book too. It just kind of quantify what a vision is and how do we translate it to your company core value, mission, and vision. That's what it is. Core
Yeah.
value, mission. What is your mission? And that's how you recruit people. Core value, that's how you find a like-minded individual to come work for you. Because the thing that people don't get is when you get like-minded individual that come work for you, there's little to no management. You have to watch over them. You have to have all these fucking processes that is, yeah, you still need some. Don't please don't take my word. I'm not saying I don't need
Yeah,
any
no.
processes. You need some process, but also you need to teach people how to manage themselves and make decisions on themselves, and you do that by core value. Core value is basically a set of decision making process, right? If it's for the core value, yes. If it's not for the core value, it's a no. So that's how you can teach people how to make decisions, right? And the mission is what are we here for? Are we here for just doing concrete? Or are we here for something bigger? What is something bigger than you, than your company? That's your mission. And that what is your vision? Okay. It doesn't have to be any grandiose vision. It just has to be big enough to where an A player that want to make $250,000 a year can make it inside your company. So last week, I so a little bit about. I spent the whole last week training, doing the sales training for two sales guys, and their goal. So the first day, what I did was I didn't talk about any sales training. We go over goal setting. They have no idea how to goal set. They have no idea what the vision is for their life, right? So then we figure out one of them want to make 150, one of them want to make 200,000. So then we find out a roadmap to how they can make that, and then it's entirely possible if they're doing what they said they if they follow the process, and then they're more excited about the job than I am. I'm fucking tired. But that's what you want, bro, right?
Yeah.
You want to hire people that can do the job, will do the job, and is excited to do the job, right? And those can't happen without vision, without uh, vision first. But what you're doing right now is good, and I would make another recommendation that put what you put on TikTok, put it on Facebook too, because Facebook you have local people and stuff like that. You want your personal brand to exude within the community, right? And that's how people find you, man. Like every post that you post on Facebook or social media, that's a billboard, So if you want, and I started diverting away from using hate publicly as my motivation. Uh, so now the motivation come from vision, right? Hey,
Yeah.
does it fit the mission? Does it fit the vision? And then I'm not saying we're perfect. I fuck off all the time, but the vision is what keep me, hey, man, come back here.
Yeah. That.
Right? Right? So that's how I do it. Other people might have a more intricate way of doing it, but my thing is put yourself out there, man. More. Just do it more and do it in a way that communicate your core value, communicate your mission, and then the right people will come into your circle, and you wouldn't believe, bro. Like when you find the right employees, it's like they can do the job of like four different employees. Like that's how powerful it is. It could be luck too, but I believe that I attracted the right people because I put out the right shit. Like if you go on my Facebook, I never talk negatively about anybody. I might, make joke about people, but that's comedy. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, right? And that's how I call people out. But it's either funny or it's motivational or it's educational. There's never, oh man, fuck, I lost like a $40,000 job today to the competitor. No, that's energy will eat you up and it will attract the wrong type of people as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I was having a conversation with God this morning about that because one of my other goals for 2024 was to not respond to negativity.
Mm,
And yesterday I failed because I did
mm,
respond to the negativity.
mm.
Now that's where it gets difficult to where I have to ask for guidance and whether what I'm doing is right or wrong. I can't have my core values and I can say yes. The thing about social media is I say things that people know are true. I know it's true, and then they just don't like the way I say it. That's why it goes viral. That's why I get the hate. Yesterday, I'll give you an example. The video I posted yesterday has about 50,000 views right now, probably like 700 comments. And I only told them to not pee in the corners of the house, to not drink beers on site, and what was the other one? And to not be a drug addict. Those are people I don't want working for my company. And you see the comments full of people defending these negative things. Like they're telling me it's too much to ask for, that I better pay well enough. Like these are things that are common sense. Why would you want somebody that works for you, peeing in front of a window where somebody's kids or their wife can see, you know? They just don't like the way I say it. So I could have probably said it in a different way, but my intent was, and it was intentional, to grab their attention and gravitate them towards the page. And all attention is good attention at the end of the day. And then what you do with it later, I think, and this is what I was talking to God about, is that what you do with that attention later and where you direct it, that's where you'll want to go. But right now, I think my goal is to just grab all the attention possible, which has been working.
Yeah, so so I think a good exercise for you is figure out what you want, like what you really want, right? Because TikTok can be a very dangerous place because there's a lot of trolls on there, right? And it can take away a lot of your energy. And if you have like if that's your outlet, fine, that's cool. But I would highly recommend you that figure out what you want and figure out like what are you wanting to get from TikTok? What is the end
So
goal there? So
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 what
then
I'm trying to do is to show people, like that 49-year-old we were talking about, to show people
mhm,
what you could be when you decide to change your mindset and you decide to change your life and you decide to do better and treat your wife and kids better and treat the relationships around you with love and duty and honor, and you become a man that you're supposed to be. These people out here, they're not men. They don't take care of their families. They don't take care of their people. They have these negative addictions, negative vices. They do things that they self-sabotage within themselves all the time. And it's like, why do you continue to do this? Can you not see it? And I think that exposure, as we were talking about, you have to be exposed to the things that are possible before you can know they're possible. So when somebody like myself puts themselves out there and says, look,
mhm.
I was this, I was a drug addict. I was an alcoholic. I used to do dumb things. I hanged around bad people. And then I was able to switch my life into this. This is what you could be too, bro. This is what you could be too. But you have to adopt this way of thinking. You have to get exposed to it so that your life can get better, so that you can change your mindset and become better. And I think the only way to do that is to put yourself out there as a person like you are right now with the podcast. When you post on social media, you're showing people, hey, you could be like me too. And people would decide, hey, do you want to follow me or not? You know?
Like, so I think I would I know that time can be an issue, but to get the most exposure possible, put what you put on TikTok. I think there's an app that you can clear the watermark. Put that on Instagram, put that on Facebook too, or have somebody else do it for you. So then you can get the full size of audience, right? And then about the hate, bro, fuck, like don't the that's the double edged side of
Eh,
uh of
that,
social media. Like there's always a motherfucking hater. Like no
yep.
matter what you do, I have probably about 10 haters right now that every time I say something, they're like, but and these are might be people that are above me because they are feel threatened by the way I conduct business, the
They
way
see you coming.
the way I take action, the way I everybody call it luck, right? Because how can this guy grow so fast? He's lucky. He got this person. He got that person. He got this person helping him. He got that person. Yo, you basically, that's my game. I don't want the spotlight. Oh, that person helped me with marketing. That person helped me with sale. My production. Everybody can take the spotlight, but I don't care. I get the check.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get to that position to where you humble enough to hire people that's smarter than you, I think that's where your growth is gonna explode. Because most of
I,
the
I am
time, go ahead.
I am humble enough to, because I have one, my dad, and he's my dad, right? But if it wasn't my dad, I would still treat him the same way. My dad is way better than me at doing the job, like 1,000 times better. I pay my dad over 6 figures a year to operate that side of the business, right? But the thing is that he has no emotional control, zero, zero emotional control. So that's where it gets difficult for us because we're not able to retain employees because of his lack of emotional control. Even though there is some luck involved, like I consider myself lucky to have my dad on the operations side. But if it was somebody with emotional control and can work like my father, it'd be the perfect person. So we kind of balance each other out because when I'm being professional, I can be professional. I can't control my emotions. I don't react to the negative things. When I react, it's intentional. It's intentional. I want to piss them off. I want to show them, hey, this could be
Yeah.
you.
So maybe your dad needs some coaching, man. Like my partner, I have to coach him up. Like he's the same way. He used to get so mad at vendors and at workers and at sub. But then we realize that we can't keep anybody that way, and we can't, you know. So all the rich people, you know why they're so nice all the time. They're not really nice, but it's to, put you to sleep, and then they're gonna reach into your pocket,
Yeah.
gone. And that's how it is, man. Like, but even it's all relationship building, right? Like that's the key. That's the key to my growth is I can get people to do the shit that I need them to do. Like if I need somebody to do marketing, and then I'm humble enough to hire people smarter than me, but I'm aware enough to fire them when they don't meet the standard. I mean, like everything, and I think that's what people mess up to. Like they don't get rid of people fast enough.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
did that for a long time,
yeah,
about 3 years. I fired my whole team in October last year.
yeah. All right.
Everybody. I let go of everybody.
So So, what is the advice you have for somebody that right now maybe they're with the crack pipe right now? What is the we're getting ready to go put on the roof of, you know, what is the advice for those guys? How can they get out of that cycle and have a better life for their family?
I get that question a lot, especially from people close to me, and I never know how to respond to that because I couldn't find the answer myself when I was in there. I
Mhm.
had to be locked up in a basement and kind of taken away from the world I was in. So
Mm.
I think the
Ooh.
response would be you have to get somewhere where your environment changes you completely. Leave where you are right now. If that's you currently and you're in that situation and you're struggling right now, leave, get up, go somewhere else, and you will change. Lean close to God, He will take care of you.
Mm. Mm. So you say two things. It's not one thing, two thing, and I want to reiterate it. I want to make a focus on this. Change your environment and pray. And I mean,
Yes,
like I pray every day, every moment,
yes,
every hour, every interaction I'm about to have with people. I pray. I pray that I make the right decision, and I pray if I make the wrong decision, that God will give me enough lesson so I can make the right decision next time. So, hey man, thank you so much for coming on and just chit chatting with me. Yeah, keep going, man. Keep going. Don't quit, and reach out if you need help. But like I say, concrete is no different than that, man. Like if you need help in coming up with anything sales or marketing related, hit me up. Okay.
yes, sir. I will
Uh,
definitely do that.
all right, man. God bless you. Go be
God
great.
bless you. Yes, sir. You too. Thank you.
You know I'm a hustler, hustler. You know I'm a hustler, hustler.